We often fear the obvious, the anger, the malice, the overt expressions of negativity. These are the storms we see coming. But what if the greatest danger lies not in the darkness we recognize, but in the darkness we refuse to acknowledge? The renowned psychoanalyst Carl Jung delved into the intricate landscape of the human psyche, and he identified a particularly insidious trait: the unwavering belief in one's own flawless goodness. Stay with us as we explore why this seemingly virtuous stance can be the most perilous sign of all. To understand this, we must first venture into Jung's concept of the shadow. Imagine an unseen twin that trails behind you, a repository of all the qualities you deem unacceptable: the envy, the selfishness, the aggression, the insecurities. The shadow isn't inherently evil. It's simply the unacknowledged, disowned parts of ourselves, forged in the crucible of societal expectations and early experiences. We learn to present a certain face to the world, carefully curating an image of who we believe we should be, often at the expense of who we truly are. This creates a tension, a division within. But what happens to these disowned aspects? Do they simply vanish? Jung argued vehemently against this notion. What we refuse to integrate into our conscious awareness doesn't disappear. It festers in the unconscious, exerting a subtle yet powerful influence on our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Like a suppressed wound, it can become infected, distorting our perceptions and coloring our interactions with the world. This is where the danger truly begins to brew. One of the primary ways this unacknowledged shadow manifests is through projection. We unconsciously attribute our own unacceptable traits and impulses to others. The flaws we cannot bear to see in ourselves become glaringly obvious in those around us. We become hypercritical, quick to judge, and easily offended by the very qualities that reside, unacknowledged, within our own psyches. This creates a world of distorted mirrors, where we see not the reality of others, but the reflection of our own inner conflicts. Jung famously stated, "What is not made conscious will be lived out as fate." This is a profound warning. When we remain ignorant of our shadow, these unacknowledged aspects begin to orchestrate our lives from the unseen realm of the unconscious. We might find ourselves repeating negative patterns in relationships, sabotaging our own success, or being inexplicably drawn to conflict. We become puppets dancing to the tune of our repressed selves, wondering why our lives feel out of our control. And this brings us to the heart of Jung's concern. The truly dangerous individual is not necessarily the one who openly displays their flaws, for these we can often recognize and navigate. The real danger lies in those who sincerely believe in their own unwavering goodness, who have constructed an impenetrable fortress of self-righteousness, effectively blinding themselves to their own shadow. This absolute conviction in one's own perfection creates a profound blind spot. Without self-awareness, there can be no genuine empathy, no capacity for true introspection, and no accountability for one's actions. When the shadow remains completely unacknowledged, its eventual eruption can be all the more volatile and destructive. Because it has been denied and suppressed for so long, it lacks the tempering influence of conscious awareness. It can manifest in sudden, irrational outbursts, in the justification of harmful behaviors under the guise of moral superiority, and in a persistent inability to understand one's own role in conflict. These individuals often leave a trail of confusion and hurt in their wake, genuinely perplexed by the negative reactions they elicit, utterly unaware of the darkness that subtly emanates from within. So how do we navigate this complex terrain? Jung's wisdom doesn't offer a simple solution, but rather a lifelong practice of self-awareness. It requires courage to confront the uncomfortable truths about ourselves, to acknowledge our imperfections, and to integrate our shadow aspects with compassion and understanding. This isn't about becoming bad, it's about becoming whole. It's about recognizing that within each of us lies the potential for both light and darkness, and that true wisdom lies not in denying the latter, but in bringing it into the light of consciousness. The most dangerous sign, then, is not the presence of darkness, but the fervent denial of its existence within ourselves. Stay alert not to the shadows you see in others, but to the shadows you may be unknowingly casting yourself. For in the journey of self-discovery, acknowledging our full humanity, with all its complexities and contradictions, is the path towards genuine wisdom and a more compassionate understanding of ourselves and the world around us.